Micro Shark, it'll take the big line, right?
How much room?
Oh. Look at me, three-wheeling. Good evening. Welcome back to the channel. Keith Jesse, ProNoobRC. Fall, wintertime season up here for us. It's actually, not really, it's still plus 17 today, which is kind of really weird to happen in October for us. November. Whoa. Yeah, it's usually never plus in November. We usually got snow, so it's a weird day. We're going to get our asses whooped and get a big storm for that. So, we're gearing up, micro season. Last video, we upgraded this guy. We did this guy off camera. Just something hanging out, doing on the couch, hanging out with the wife, building that one. So I got all the same work this one did, just the roof rack and stuff. But they all have the same problem. The Micro Shark in the middle. Get that off of Shapeways. Check our build on it. Pretty dope rod. They all have the same problem though. With the added weight, they're heavier, and the stock springs don't really function that well no more. The stock shocks are okay. Well, they work, right? But they're not really that great. They don't have any adjustment. So we're kind of poking around on the market. There were some other shocks that came out before, but we weren't terribly happy with them. So we just didn't buy them. They had horrible reviews. Trio came out with another set of shocks recently. And then really nice ones. And then Power Hobbies came out with another set of shocks, which I'm pretty sure are the same ones. These guys here. Nice little units. As you can see, maybe PH logo. Simulator reservoir. It's already got the nice aluminum ball, pivot ball mounted. And they are threadable. Threadable? Threaded. They're threaded. So you can turn down this the tension on them, right? You can change. Not really. Now that's common misconception that makes your spring tighter for your truck to actually not bottom out. That actually just raises the height of the vehicle. So the one nice thing about these shocks is they do come with another set of springs.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Now, what we don't know is if these springs are heavier or softer than the silver ones. Sure.
Gone.
Well, that's gone. So that kind of brings us to the end of the video.
Alright, see you later.
So they give you all new hardware because the bottom of these shock pivot balls are obviously thicker. And then you get 4 extra springs, the 4 springs on it, and then I'm sure you can use the 4 springs off of your Axial vehicle, which is too light. So yeah, so the black one they come with is about a medium. The silver one is your stiff. And I guess the one in the vehicle would be your light. We're going to start front and center with one of our favorite builds we've done. The Micro Shark. So we're going to start with our favorite build. This is the Micro Shark by Mod19RC. You can get it on Shapeways. You basically take your SCX24, take everything out besides the frame rails, axles, and that's about it. Because it comes like, right? Was it links or no? You use the links here in the truck, right? Yeah, yeah. It's just frame rails, axles, links, and shocks. It's a lot of work, but it's totally worth it. And then battery goes under the hood and stuff. Beautiful truck, beautiful. But our suspension sucks on it. Lack of. Yeah. So the factory one is like your super light spring. Like there's nothing there. Super light. Wild. So we are going to run the silvers on the Micro Shark. Start there. It's too stiff. We'll work our way back. No. Give it a little lube though. Go from there. So I just put a drop of 30 weight oil in there. I was going to put grease in there, but it does make them pretty sticky, the shocks. So I'm kind of still on the fence about that mod. Okay, so before I put it back together, what you want to do to a vehicle to test to make sure your spring, well, what I do, I don't know if it's the right way, but this will work for you too in a pinch, is you want to check your droop. I learned this just from motocross. You want to have your suspension set up properly so you have droop in the suspension. You don't want it to be sitting all the way up, so then when you get on the bike, it squats down. Like you should be able to walk up the back of your dirt bike and pick up the rear fender 4 to 5 inches. And that's where the bike's set up properly. So right now, if we go to the back corner of the truck and we lift it up, the other side's coming up, but this side is all the way up on that spring. So that is too stiff. We're gonna pull it off. We're gonna try one of the black ones on there. Okay, so simplest way to do the springs on this little dude is to take off the cap, pull off your spring retaining, adjust your McFluter, pull off the heavy spring. I'm gonna go down to the next one that they sent, the black one. Check fitment. Both ends of the spring will be a little bit different because that is life and it's tiny parts. When you put your funicular back on there, make sure that the shoulder part that captures the spring is facing down. Okay, just got the tires sitting on the axles. None of the pins or the nuts are back on them, but we just wanted to show you. So we ended up using the black springs that came in the package. The silver springs were far too hard for the Micro Shark. They might work good for this truck. They might work good for the C10. We're not sure. The Micro Shark looks like a big unit, but it actually is fairly light. It weighs probably just as much as that Lexan body. It's all 3D printed, super lightweight, space age stuff, things. So, so the droop that I was talking about is whoop whoop. See, we get the truck sits there, and we get the lift up. See, we're not, the truck naturally wants to sit down, and you can whoop lift it up. That's about 4 or 5 millimeters. Real life would be about 4 or 5 inches. That'd be good enough for me. Give me some lift up down. So we come down, we come up. We can adjust the droop level now with the spring rate on these really fancy little shocks from Power Hobbies. You can already see the truck has a better stat sitting front to back. Once we get the front in, we can bring that up. If it was a chassis mounted servo truck, we would probably be running the silver springs in the front, but it is a servo mounted truck, and we will throw the battery in it before we do the testing with those shocks. So we'll put the shocks on first, throw the battery in it, and see if it sits, and then go from there. That's me thinking and talking to. Huh?
Oh yeah.
If you're thinking about doing a micro shark build after watching this video, go to Shapeways, and Jesse will put a link to it in the video description. And grab yourself one. You will not be disappointed. They are fun. It is not for a novice builder. This would be more towards the pro side of the pro noob stuff. This is when Jesse and I got to put our thinking caps on and really hunker down and do some nice work. So if you're thinking about one, grab one. They are amazing. Yeah, the Micro Shark is not like a competition style truck. It is 3D printed, so aka plastic-like material. So you know, if you break it, that's on you. Okay, so same thing we're going to do the back. We're going to put the truck in. You can already see it sitting prominently higher on the side with the silver spring. We already have a feeling that the silver spring is going to be too much for her. Let's get the skateboard out of the way. Little tiny tech deck. Get in there. In your hole. Battery sits about there. You can already see now the truck still has, even if we push it down, it springs right back to the top of the spring, and there's no droop. No bueno. So we're going to run the same black spring on all four corners and go from there. Okay, so we're just buttoning up, swapping these four shocks over to the Power Hobbies little scale piggyback reservoir fake dealy looking shocks. Pretty much the same as the factory, just fancy billet looking with different spring options. We threw a little bit of grease down inside of them just to help give it a little bit of dampening. It's kind of working. They won't hold oil, so don't expect them to hold oil. And yeah, we're just throwing our little brass hexes that in our last video when we built the C10. We had started throwing into there. We bought out the hobby shop on their stash on them, so I think they hate when they do that, but oh well. We need parts too. Last thing to do is reconnect the steering servo that fell off, remember, in the last video? No, actually it fell off right after we finished filming the last video. Boop. Game over. So we still have the silver heavy springs. They came off. They might work good with the heavier truck. And we salvaged all of the stock shocks. Could be used in another build and stuff. So, yay, parts. So we're going to go hit the test track and get this guy lit up and test it out. And yeah, go have some fun. Let's go get some footage for you guys with the new shock setup on her. Suspension flowing there nicely now with a little bit of grease. Micro Shark, gonna take the big one, right? Hit the hot tub. Wait, did that sound like it sounded? Effortless with that buggy. I could probably even hit like this big gap. Those Emax steering servos are beastie, eh? Almost. They're almost on point with this. I don't know. Just as strong as this Havoc. Nice having that. You get micro power to throw away. Wag the tail. Ooh, look how nice that is. Ooh, ooh, yeah. A little drop of grease in the shocks. Some nice adjustable shocks with a nicer spring rate. The truck still has up and down suspension now. It's not completely bottomed out. Mucha happy. So yeah, build number 2 of the Micro Sharks will be coming up, you guys, in the next couple weeks. We'll be starting number 2. We will be building the Suzuki Samurai version they have. Just park you here for the night. A little truck stop. Version number 2, Suzuki Samurai, blue and yellow. Stay tuned. 2 of them are going to be just loud and proud on the trails, so stay tuned.